are you guys? Welcome to the live this afternoon. It's Friday. I hope you guys have fun. I am being educated by the cameraman right now, so I know you guys are like, we're going to watch the stupid ginger pour. Well, thank you for watching. This is a lesson in progress because I'll show you what the hell did you do with what you just poured? He poured like the prettiest geode I've ever seen. Even like, what was there's that handicapped lady that did really cool art over in Germany. What was her name? Mrs. Colorberry. She used to do geodes. I loved her stuff. I made it, but it was really good. It was like probably 10% as good as what I saw Michael do the other day. But every time I try to copy him, I just F it up. So today, I'm starting out with a base of something ugly I poured. This is a big casting tray. We're going to build a table out of this so we can pop it out, and hopefully we'll either have the ugliest or prettiest thing in the world. Jeanette. We love Jeanette. How are you, Jeanette? Get down on it. Get down on it. How's your Friday? Louisiana?
Someone in Louisiana said that they wanted to take the glitterous blower 2000 because they'd make a lot of money up down there.
Dude, you know what? Do you know what? If you need to blow some glitteruses off, that glitterous blower does a pretty good job. So I'm sure it could blow the glitteruses in Louisiana just as good as the ones here. No, it is a really cool tool. I don't know, I believe leaf blowers, just because their ability to manage dust and stuff like that, are just so valuable. And you can do all kinds of patterns with them.
Your sound went by.
Did your sound go by? Who hears me out there? Tell me if you hear me. Somebody's saying they don't hear me. I want to know if it's them just pushing funny buttons like I do. I'm always like, dude, your live died. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just not computering right. I'm not a real good computering person. Don't tell anybody. I rely on a lot of the smarter people around here to do all the computer stuff. You had to leave and come back. Hey, you know what? I'm just glad you're here. So tell me how your Friday's going. How did your weeks go, guys? Tell me how your week went. What was the most exciting thing you guys did this week? Missouri? I hope that's Missouri and not misery. How warm are y'all? What's your temperature? What's the temperature of your heart today? Are you feeling lovely to the people you love? Okay, now I am going to set this just kind of over here in the corner. Let it wang out. Now, I don't know that this is necessarily correct how I'm doing this, but I'm going to try to pour a kind of some separation veins with my gold.
They said it's snow, how's Grand Junction, 33
Dude,
degrees, 40 degrees.
Junction's getting good. Junction's getting nice and warm.
Spring this morning.
I did think it was spring. Do you know, it was a little chilly yesterday. Did I tell you the story about the homeless guy I saw picked up yesterday? Did I share that yesterday? So,
Your dad said it's 70 yesterday.
if anybody wants to hear a really cool story, something that it really hit me in my feels yesterday, like really just every once in a while, you ever have an experience that just kind of speaks to you better than anything else? And I was driving my kids to school, and we were barely on time, which is 5 minutes late for me. No, I'm pretty good at being on time, but when you have 3 little kids and they like to eat and they like to do fun things, and I love them, I can't push them around and yell at them too much, but they were doing pretty well. But we're just barely about to be on time for school, barely, and we're driving past the post office, and I see this guy laying in the grass, and I see his backpack out in the grass, and like all his garbage everywhere, his blankets, his jackets. And at first I thought he had an accident because I saw a little, like, you know, those little scooters, the Strider type scooters that you kind of ride around, like not a motor, the tiny little wheel that kids use. I saw one of those, and I mean, he's a 25, 30-year-old man, which is always sad to see, like a homeless man at that age, and or any age. And I felt bad because you could tell he was having a pretty rough day. He was cold, but I did have all 3 of my kids with me, and okay, I'm not going to judge, but he was clearly on drugs, which doesn't bother me at all to go help him, but I don't want to do it with my kids in the car being late. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to race down, I'll drop my kids off in their classrooms, and I'll come right back down here, and I'll try to help the guy and, you know, find out what he's doing and find out, you know, how I can try to be helpful to him. And I dropped my kids off at school, And, you know, it was a long time between when I thought I was going to help him and when I drove back by there. It was probably 7 minutes, and my little pea brain, I have the memory of a grasshopper. Of course, I got in a turn lane, not even thinking about it, and then as soon as I'm stuck in this lane where I couldn't pull forward where I would need to be to kind of try to pull over to actually help him, I realized that guy's still there, and I was like, oh my God, I felt terrible. I was like, I didn't even contemplate like getting over there and pulling him, picking him up, or just talking to him, seeing what he needed. I mean, he was clearly very cold. It was like 34 degrees out. And while I'm sitting there, and I'm feeling kind of bad, and I'm debating, should I drive around the block and try to help him or not? And, you know, and you always have these battles like, well, he chose to be there or whatever. You know, you never know what, you know. It's easy to be judgmental, sadly, but it is easy to be judgmental, but it's not right. And wasn't exactly sure how to deal with that. And so I was sitting there thinking, man, I guess I'm gonna have to drive around the block. And up pulls the most ghetto-ass, whoopty-ass Jeep Cherokee. Looked like it had 4 different sizes of tires on it, rough, ready to go off-roading. You know, you know what I'm talking about. And pulls up on the curb. This dude with a mohawk jumps out of the Jeep. And at first I thought, dude, homeless man's getting his ass beat by somebody that doesn't like him sitting there or something. I couldn't tell. And I was like, damn it. Well, he looked so happy to see that guy sitting in the grass, and the guy in the grass looked so happy to see that guy in the Jeep Cherokee. And that guy in the Jeep Cherokee didn't look disappointed in him. He didn't look mad. He walked straight over, picked up his stuff, hugged him, started picking up trash. The guy had left quite a bit of trash around, and they're both young. I mean, the dude with the mohawk and the Jeep Cherokee, he's probably 25, 26. Just starts picking up all the trash out of there, puts a blanket over the guy's shoulders, puts him in the car, a jacket, something, but something to warm him up, you could see. And the immediate happiness I saw, like, hurt my heart. It just really spoke to me because I thought, man, how often is it Jesus pulling up to you and you're this little pile of shit with all your belongings in the yard and all your stresses and all your worries and all the things that you think you've protected yourself from, and somebody pulls up like that, and it might not be the person you expected to pull up to help, and the absolute lack of judgment, the absolute peace of mind, the complete love to see that man, that I can say is what spoke to me. I just saw absolute care for that man, and I thought, man, all these churches around, everything, all these people that are specifically in a role where they could be helpful to a man like this, and they don't even have time for him. You know, they wouldn't even have time to stop and help him. And yet this guy, the Mohawk and the Jeep Cherokee that probably would have been judged by any church, was the first man to jump out and, in my opinion, do God's will and be a blessing to him. It brought tears to my eyes because I thought how blessed that guy was, and just watching the absolute peace he had in his heart when he realized, I don't know if it was his older brother or maybe just a really kind stranger, but that love, I thought, man, if we could exhibit just a piece of that towards the people in our lives. And you know, something I thought of is, how do you get to heaven, guys? And I'm not religious, and I'm not telling a sermon. I probably lost my whole life for even saying this, right? But I fucking hate church, because churches are a distraction from God. But let me tell you something. When God comes back, he's going to say, how did you treat the least people, the people you believed were the least important in your society? How did you treat them? And he says, however you treated them, that's how you treated me. So he says, whatever you done to the least of these, my brothers, you done it to me. And that spoke to me, because I guarantee nobody would have seen that man in that Jeep Cherokee and thought, that's going to be the guy that jumps up, quits everything he's doing, races over, parks on like the sidewalk, picks up the man, and helps him with all his stuff in the most Christian way. But just remember, no matter who you are and where you come from, you can be God's hands and feet. And it's not a churchy or religious thing. It's a real personal, absolute love thing. So don't forget that you have the ability to like literally change a life. And the look in that guy's eyes when he saw that guy showed up, I've almost never seen that kind of happiness. And I feel like the dude that came and helped him must have been one of the most blessed people in the room. So there. Probably lost my whole life because I just went all spiritual and weird, but I hope you guys like it. And I hope if you don't believe in any of this stuff, that someday I just love y'all and you just get your little heads out of your asses and realize that there's a God in heaven that loves you. He's just not the one that the stupid churches tried to lie about. So.
Where did you get this container?
Do you know what? There's the questions that mattered, y'all. Where did I get this container? I got it online, I believe on Amazon. I'll look up the name of it, but like I say, you guys remember in my little story, I was trying to tell you that you weren't interested in. I told you it was like 7 minutes between dropping my kids off and driving back by, and I already forgot. So I bought this container about 2 years ago, so I will definitely have to investigate where exactly I got it so I don't completely screw that one up. So, but I will look it up and I'll get it back with you guys on that. Reach it.
People need a gust of God. How long does it take to cure?
How long does this take to cure? This right here is gonna cure fast because this is countertop, not casting, and we're pouring this stuff very, very thick. So I would say it's probably gonna be hard to the touch in about 6 hours because of the thickness. But usually countertop product, you have all night to work it. I don't know if y'all are liking this, but I'm thinking this is banging. You know what I'm gonna do? A little more of this.
Needs a purple or teal.
Needs a purple or teal. Damn, how can I never be right with y'all? Right when I pull out the gold, you need teal. Damn it. You know what? Customers are always right, so. The rest of you guys, is this water-based? No, this is 100% solid, zero VOC product, very amazing. This is if you actually wanted to do something at your mom's house, this is probably what you'd want to do. So, and I heard teal and what other color? Purple. Purple, well let's see, I have a lot of people tell me that my purple is pink because maybe my little eyes, or if you're speaking in Spanish, your viejos or ojos. Maybe y'all's are different than mine, but okay. I don't spray paints. I just do it decoratively, but I ain't trying to copy Mike Quist. But we're gonna do some spray paint because that's the only damn colors I think I can grab right now. So you guys have to pick. Y'all like the teal, I think. You want teal. Always make sure you shake it well.
So they can stop.
What? Stop what? Am I supposed to stop, really?
Too much colors?
Too much color? I'm white as shit. How is that too much color? This is like, it's 2024 when somebody sees a freckle on my nose and says too much color. Get your racist ass off my live. I love you. I'm kidding with you guys. I can't believe it's Friday. I have had a week of weeks. Let me tell you the biggest blessing. I told you something that was not as personal. But I have a stepdad that was involved in a massive accident. He actually drives a semi, and I don't know him really well. But the first time I've talked to him in a few years, he was driving across the country somewhere up in Washington State, going about 75 miles an hour. At nighttime, there was a semi parked all the way across the road. He saw it at the last second, went through it, and it absolutely almost killed him, and nobody could figure out where he was, and nobody could find him, and I'd say sometimes I get stressed about stuff like that, and I was a little stressed this week about that, and I found out yesterday that he was alive. I won't say well because the injuries are extremely severe, but I do believe he's one of the toughest humans I've ever known. And everybody, it's funny, as a kid, everybody'd always be like, ooh, your stepdad. What do you think of him? Like, everybody was always worried about stepdads. I was so blessed to have one of the best stepdads. And I have an amazing father too. So I was beside myself with happiness. So when I finally heard from him, so if any of y'all believe in prayers, I prayed and I saw a very immediate answer to it. So and he's been very important to a lot of people for his whole life. All right. Like I say, guys, I always use the disclaimer that no, I probably am not doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I'm probably pissing off the crowd. Somebody out there is like, what the hell, Jorge? This guy don't know what he's doing. This damn ginger boy told me he was doing a geode. This is just some stuff I got. I almost said crap from Hobby Lobby, but nothing's crap from Hobby Lobby. You know what? Even if it's cheap, I love hobbies. Just don't buy their cheap ass resin, or you'll be really sorry when it quits working in like 2 days and yellows and cracks. But as far as some little bit of paint, do it. We have way cheaper like liquid and powdered colors. But sometimes if you just need one little accent of a pop and you're just doing some art and it's not on the floor or something, spray some of that out there. Let it shine. Oh, well, there we are. I just diddled the crap out of that. We'll see if I can fix that. So.
Do you use alcohol for traction book?
I can use alcohol, but right now, if I'm really trying to create cells, but right now I'm kind of afraid to use alcohol because I really want to not get this to sell out. I want to keep this as rigid and individual veins as possible in this. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying not to drip anywhere. I don't want like some big random splooge of color across my piece because that's usually what I do. I get everything looking real good and then I'm like, big old drop.
What's the mold made out of?
This is just a really cool like PVC flexible like pan that I got that seems to work really well. Hey, thank you all for joining the live. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the support. I know I say this sometimes, and I know you guys are probably like, this douche guy is like thanking us because he wants more likes. No, we're a tiny company. We're a tiny channel, and we're huge in the world of quality, but we're tiny in the world of epoxy. And the only reason we even stand out, and I know I hear people say stuff like this all the time, but it really is you guys. We get so much amazing support from so many really incredible customers, and it usually happens classes. We teach a lot of classes on flooring, walls, countertops. We're just able to connect, and in my eyes, it's been awesome to be able to be a blessing to so many people that I really didn't expect to be able to help out as much as we've been able to over the years. It's fun to see companies starting out and calling back, helping you bid jobs. You're helping them bid jobs.
Jimmy said, I love your show and think you're a good man. You quote the Bible, so why do you not like organized religions?
Wow, that's a deep question, Jenny. I like that question. Jimmy? Was that Jimmy? Jimmy, Jenny, I don't care what your name is. I just love you both the same way. This will probably lose half my followers. I think there's a Jesus that actually loves you. And I believe there used to be priests on earth that you would go talk to so that they could go talk to God for you. But then Jesus Christ died on the cross, and he sent the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit goes into your heart. So now you're the temple. You don't have to go to a building. And God says, I don't dwell in a house made of hands and like stones and made with hands. He's not in a building. He says, you are the temple of God, meaning you're not God. You're worthless, but you become of utter value to God as soon as you accept Jesus and salvation. So that's way more religious than I told you. But like I say, I'm not religious. I just believe in Jesus. So there, I don't know if I've ever said something that much on my live, but this is something that I haven't really understood my whole life, I'm telling you. So it's not like I'm very smart with a lot of this stuff. It's something I've been really taking my time to try to understand lately, and a lot because I have 3 kids and I love them, and they're amazing, and I want to be a better dad. Yeah, I don't want them to go to heaven, so I want to be a better person. Like, what the hell is life to you if you're not trying to better yourself? It's so sad. Tell me this, which one of y'all see friends that you haven't seen in like, you see that buddy that you used to cause problems with? Okay, nobody else out there caused problems with other people, but let's just say you were like me and you were a little imbecile as a kid and running around, and then you meet some of the kids that you knew as a kid. One of the saddest things I see is when I see a man that is supposedly a full-grown man now, and he's still doing the same shit he did when we were like 14. And then there's the opposite. You see the people who understood that they had purpose in their life, and they understood they had purpose in their life and value in their life, and they allowed that to change, constantly change them, and you don't see them for 5 or 7 years, and you meet a totally different person than you used to see, and they're kinder, they're more thoughtful, and that's just, man, that's just going to happen based on what you focus on, guys. It says what? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So usually when I'm saying nasty shit, I don't need to worry about what I say. I need to worry about my heart and what I'm thinking. That's been something else I've been trying to focus on lately. Don't worry about the immediate result. Worry about what caused that result. Why did I think like that? Why did I act like that? Corpus Christi. Hey, tell me about Corpus Christi. I'm very interested. I have a bunch of buddies that work at a lot of Marines I used to be with, work with, work at some of the depot centers for like they test fly helicopters and stuff down in Corpus Christi, and I've always thought that just looked like a cool place to go.
Do you torch to remove oil or wait until it dries to sand it?
You know, this right here, good question. I'm probably gonna just torch, but lightly after I let as much of the air get out on its own as possible, because I really, really, really wanna keep this pattern as crisp as possible. I don't wanna really blow it out or mess with it too much, so.
Andrew, thank you for being so bold. You're speaking the truth.
You know what, guys?
And your amazing work. I'm just getting into the epoxy work.
Hey, I'll just let you guys know too. One reason I say I'm not religious out there, guys, is I did not mean that to preach, and I didn't mean to say anything I just said as if I'm a good person at all. I don't believe I'm a good person. I believe sometimes I have so much grace afforded me that I'm able to somehow transcend all the shitty things in my mind, and I can do good. But let me tell you guys, like, just never get discouraged and never give up of just trying to be a better you. Because even if it's not for you, I'm really against the self-help for self-gratification too. I'm tired of hearing all the dumbasses out there that are like, you just need to do you. Well, sometimes, bitch, you have 3 kids, or mister, you have 5 kids, whatever it is. Maybe you need to start taking care of your responsibilities to give yourself value. A lot of people turn inward when they're sad, they're depressed, they're like, let's focus on me even more and focus on what I can do for me even more. Maybe that'll make me happy. You know why you're unhappy? You're unhappy because you are focused on you. So, there, that's enough. God bless y'all. I hope y'all have a badass day. I still cuss. I still say really stupid shit a lot, so.
Corpus Christi has lots of refineries. Selena lived in
Corpus Christi.
beautiful beaches.
Dude, okay, the beaches there, compare them to another state's beaches because I'm highly interested. Would you move to Corpus Christi?
Nothing like Galveston, because Galveston is like,
Is that what you said, Michael?
yeah.
Michael says, I hope it's not like Galveston. He just literally dry heaved. He was like, oh. Blah. So everybody from Galveston, the cameraman can't stand your face.
No.
I'm kidding.
I used to live there.
Oh, he used to live in Galveston, so he has a good reason. And you can't judge it. He's brown, so you can't say a damn thing about what he says. If he doesn't like Galveston, that's on you guys. Judge if you want.
How do you fix countertops at?
How do you fix? If it's still wet resin and there's too much in one area, just roll that wet resin down to where it's going. But if you're like me and you're like, whoops, shit, I like went out and answered the phone, I did something dumb, then you gotta sand the little hot spots, fix it. Send us pictures too. We'll teach you the simplest way we can possibly find to fix it. So we will.
Easier epoxy for painting is applied to a board canvas.
Freaking amazing. We have a lot of people do that. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. I should not have done that. That was a lot of color right there. Sometimes I make mistakes with color.
Not much. What state are you in?
What state of mind am I in?
Yeah. Well, not state.
I can't say that word on TikTok. They pull my channel if I tell you what state of mind I'm in. State of mind? I'm in Grand Junction, Colorado. That's the western side of the state. So I certainly hope to see some of y'all in a class coming up soon. We have really fun epoxy classes here, almost once a month here. And then we have also classes coming up in Vero Beach, Florida. And they're usually very in-depth flooring, walls, countertops, how to fabricate. So you should love it. Unless you're a boring ass person, you're gonna think our classes are off the hook. Super hands-on stuff too.
Kurt wants to know how to send us a picture. He's the one that has a question about the countertop.
Hey, can Kirk send this in? How would he send a picture? Maybe the link in the bio and info@countertopepoxy.com. Try that one. Would that be right?
Samson said, oh my gosh, I never thought of using spray bottle.
Yeah, a lot of the spray bottles I'm spraying, if you see this that I'm squirting, that's 99% isopropyl alcohol mixed with our mica. And guys, am I blowing this out? I'm always the guy. I'm just too many damn colors up in this place, but let me know if you like it or don't like it. I heard whispering in the office behind me. The office office got so quiet and I heard whispers, and that was like way to spook me out. I didn't even know anybody else was here. I thought it was me and my one.
Samson said amazing. I don't care what you say, you're an artist.
Samson, you sound like a big badass that probably lifts heavy shit, so I hope you're having an awesome day. I have done some jobs in Virginia. I actually taught a few classes. I used to do wall classes up there in Virginia, so just let me know if you have a training facility or if you have a large interest in class. We'll definitely jump up to Virginia.
That's it. You got the rainbow look going.
Yeah, I kind of am liking this, so is it kind of turning out? Was I doing this the way you were thinking, Michael? Ish? Ish? Michael says I'm fired. He said, that was the dumbest crap I ever had to sit around and videotape. That's what he actually just texted me. He put it up on a flashcard. He said, I'm quitting after seeing how dumb your pour was. Jeanette?
What are you doing this with?
I like anything that's beautiful, Jeanette. What am I doing with this? This is our countertop resin. And yeah, it's thick as hell to be countertop, but that's what I wanted. You know, the resin I'm using, as long as you don't leave it in the container too long, you have a really good work time with it. Okay, when I torch this, it should slowly relax it, and I'm hoping that will actually be what you'll notice will give it the true geode portion of the color. What are you most blessed about this Friday? Do we even have people on here today? Is there somebody out there telling me what you want? Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. If you want to be my epoxy lover, you gotta use my products. Make it last forever. What's this?
You actually.
What about me? Did I say what they... Oh, dude, you guys are way too nice. God bless you all. Honestly,
I would love to learn how to do this.
come to a class. You want to learn? Come to a class. We teach the most in-depth actual epoxy classes, I would guarantee, in the world, where you would learn more than anyone. And I hear that from people all over the world all the time, and I've been all over the world teaching these classes. So if you really want to come to a class where you want to truly learn epoxy pouring, then I will say you need to come to a countertop epoxy class.
How many of these do you... Oh, hey, buddy, yeah, sing some Spice Girls. How many of these do you do in a day?
Just one or two, just for fun, guys. Usually I'm out on jobs, pouring floors, finishing a patio, doing teaching classes. I do a lot of training, so I spend a lot of my time out with crews, training them and just helping them with their jobs. A lot of guys will get maybe a big bid that kind of intimidates them, so I'll go put your t-shirt on that says I'm working for your company, and I'll just work through it with you and your people, and it's kind of one of my passions. Dude, hey, God bless that. Cancer, like, I don't like to say the F word, but every time I think of cancer, because I've dealt with it with some really close family members recently, I say F that shit. And yeah, thank God for that, right? And thank God for you. If you're dealing with it, I will be praying with you personally, or praying for you personally. Drop something out there in the comments if there's something you want a goofy ass dude like me to pray for, because I do pray for all my customers and all my employees. I try to do it every single day. And I don't pray, please help my customer to have $1 million to give me and spend. No, I just pray that you're blessed. I don't go to Benny Hinn's church and...
Do you know of any places in Arizona that use the same stuff as you?
Oh, hell yeah. I have a badass in Arizona that we work with that does all kinds of crazy projects. He's actually just got a big shower job yesterday. He's finishing up, so. Where are we from? Wouldn't you like to know after seeing my live? You're like, where the hell was this guy raised by wolves or like just stupid dogs or something? Like, you can't figure it out, can you? but I'm from Grand Junction, Colorado. That's the western side of the state, and it's the prettiest side of the state.
Jay wants you to stop swearing. He said no more.
Jay! I swear to God, Jay, I will try not to say shit, fuck, or crap, or anything ever again, and I will do 25 push-ups for every one of those words I just used for you, because, Jay, you're a good influence on me, and I love you, man. Come on my channel, and every time you see me cuss, Jay, you can bust me on it.
Enough.
Fix me, Jay. Be a good influence on me, Jay. But, Jay, you already were. I can definitely say I'm very happy when I see people out there trying to encourage better behavior. And you know what? I've always had a mixed feeling about cussing. I was a Marine, and I will tell you guys, I grew up, I went to a little homeschool where I got picked on a lot. No, I'm just kidding. I did go homeschool. I did go homeschool. Yeah, I got picked on at homeschool a lot. My teachers all fucking hated me. So sorry, I said that. I will do push-ups for you, Jay. You just tell me when and where, and I will document them for you. I am sorry that I did that, Jay, and you were right and I am wrong. But yeah, I went to this little school, and I just remember supposedly all these little Christian kids, and I don't mean to pick on them, but man, some of the meanest people I ever knew in my life growing up. Just hard, harsh kids, dude, to each other. Just not kindness. And I kind of, as I grew up, and of course, joined the military and got a worse mouth, I remember just thinking some of the best people I knew may not be the cleanest mouths I'd ever heard talk, but they were the person that would do anything for you. There was a man, I'm not going to say his last name, but he was a sniper on a roof. I won't say his last name. His first name was Mike. Probably to me, he was one of the most tough guys I ever knew. I did not work with him. I worked with one of his teams, though, overseas, and I was just lucky enough to just be around him. He was just such a badass guy. He knew me a little bit before I was in the military. Really positive person, really tough guy. He was a Navy SEAL, and we kind of knew each other from some of our training. And while he was on a rooftop over in Iraq, I remember he was really looked up to, and a grenade came up over the roof, and Mike had probably, you don't know when something like that has a time fuse on it. You don't know how long you have before it's going to detonate. Well, Mike wasn't sure how long he had for that to detonate, so what did Mike do? He threw his helmet on top of the grenade and jumped on top of his helmet immediately. And you know what I heard everybody say? They all said, oh, Mike's a badass, Mike's a badass, he's a tough guy. Well, he was, of course, but it took me years. I thought about Mike forever, because I remember I had something bad happen to me one time, and Mike was the first person that talked to me about it after a mission, and Mike was so caring and thoughtful. After everything he'd just gone through on that same mission, he took the time to recognize that I'd been through something difficult to deal with, and he went out of his way and was really humble how he dealt with it. And the more I always thought about Mike, and I even saw some stories about him, and how loved he was and how badass he was, and I actually felt like it did him a huge disservice, because I looked back and I thought, now I have kids, the only thing that would have made him make that immediate decision, that's not being a badass, that's having love. Greater love hath no man than this, and a man laid down his life for his friends. And it took me a long time to realize that true badassery is love. So same way Jesus was a real badass for you. So, but that guy was one of my heroes, seeing how he was as a humble person. So.
Someone asked, did Mike live?
No, Mike passed away 4 hours later, and it was very tough on everybody around. So, and Mike is a motherfucking gangster to Jesus in heaven, and I hope that he goes to heaven, because I do truly believe that he had love that even he didn't describe, because he just naturally had that exact love that really is just, it's not an accidental thing. You can't learn it. You have to experience to have it. So, and sometimes if you've never had a kid or something, or been on a team, and I can say, who out there in the militaries remembers back to some of your teams? If you ever went through some bad things, do you remember that friendship you'd get? People, I remember I used to be kind of a little bit aggressive, and I did lots of mixed martial arts, and I liked to fight a little more, and people were really aggressive before we went overseas. And I can say once we went over there, we had a lot of friendships, because we all started like caring about each other, and kind of changing it was still competitive, but the competitiveness died, because you weren't ever caring about beating a person. You were always making sure that you all could win together. So There, now I've shared too much. Sorry about all my dumb stories. God bless you. God bless you for being patient enough to hear. How's the snow?
No.
Oh, the smell? There's no smell. Unless I ate some Taco Bell, then there would be, but there's not. This is 0 VOC. Guys, this is turning out, I think. I don't know. Tell me, criticize me if it's wrong, but this is kind of what I was going for. Say what?
Thanks for your service and sharing your stories.
Oh.
Bling stones. Bling stones.
Say what about bling stones? Are they wanting bling stones in this now?
Maybe. Brings back memories, brother. I didn't grab you.
I get done with the damn thing, and now you say bling stones, man. This is like,
That I use.
lucky me. You ask for bling stones. Is this blingy enough? This is cubic zirconium, also known as fireplace glass.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, this is fireplace glass. Dude, what? Where am I gonna put this that I don't jack this up beyond belief?
Have you ever
I will try.
dragged a duck feather across it?
I have messed with this epoxy. Is such a different viscosity than most of like the feather tickling that girls do. So it's just a little different viscosity. So sometimes you don't get that feathery effect. And look at this, I'm dropping these stupid stones about as accurately as, I don't even want to say, pretty inaccurately. We'll just throw that out there. I guess you guys doomed me to pouring 4 more gallons next week. Or 2 more over the top of this to cover these stones up. Why do I care though? You guys are my customers. I'm not here for me. I'm here for y'all. What's this?
LJ said the best thing you can do is live for him. He did it to save the guy's life.
Nope. Amen to that, LJ.
I really struggled reading that comment.
Amen to that, LJ. Just made me really want to, like, it made me think back when I thought of him, and I thought, nope, that was the most loving guy I ever knew. So, okay, I'm going to stop on my head with that because I don't think my glass idea was, I think it looked more like an ass idea, so. This is where you're going to get the real color, though, and the real pattern. You won't really see the pattern, and it won't even show up until I torch this. And now, you can, I'm pretty sure already you're starting to see that reflection kind of fix right where I'm torching. Kind of laying it down. Pops the air bubbles, warms it, self-levels it. Really just helps break surface tension with the heat. So cheer up, my brother. I will say, with what just happened to my stepdad and watching how I finally barely got a hold of him, it did remind me, like, if you ever have somebody in your life that you haven't been getting a hold of, that you're not really close to, but you think you should, just do it. Just do it. You never know when you won't have the opportunity again, so. This is just a casting mold that we're trying to build like a really nice, kind of a, okay, I said really nice, but like a really, whatever the hell you call this. I'm trying to pour a, sort of a geode table, but I don't even want to say geode. I'll just say a weird artsy table. I've been trying to learn how to do a little more of the liquid settling pours, so they're a little thicker, but they're really fun. You just got to be patient with them. But man, as you see, it is fun. Unless you're not a fun person. There we are, guys. Now, you know what? I'm gonna let it slowly settle back. Look, that's when you get the real crisp fractured effect. A little bit of tipping. And this will just level out like glass. Now, if I sprayed alcohol, it would have a tendency to really break up some of the different colored areas, and it just would lose some of its like perfect sheet of glass look. So I really don't want to spray alcohol on it and mess it up that way, but Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you guys' time on All Our Lives, and thank you for being patient with us. I know you guys are all probably trying to get home from work or leave early on a Friday, so thank you for spending the time with us. I can't wait to be back Friday. You guys have really helped our channel for being such a small company, so please subscribe. Please hit the follow button, whatever you guys want to see, and do a Q&A. If you want to write out the Q&A and tell us what you want us to work on next week for you, we will do it. And we're going to be pouring a floor next week most likely, and we have a few really big floors coming up in class. Our next class here in Junction is going to be a really nasty floor we're going over. We're doing a really badass, very decorative floor in both in Ocean Isles, North Carolina, and Vero Beach, Florida. So look at any of our class schedule. We really go over from grinding, dealing with moisture, edges, drains, slopes, delamination, surface penetration, which epoxies to use, what's wrong with primers, what's right with primers, how to use them. So, and we let you have a ton of hands-on. It's a hands-on class. So I hope to see you in a class. Please hit that follow button and have a really badass weekend and just love somebody. Have a good day.